Good morning, grade 6. Welcome back to grade 6 mathematics class. Hope you all are doing great today. Let's start a new chapter today, chapter 15, perimeter and area. You have learned about the basics of perimeter and area in your lower grades. So let's have a quick flashback of the two concepts today. Imagine someone has a farm which has the shape of a rectangle which looks like this. So this person decides to build a fence around this farm. So to build the fence around the farm, this person has to know the length of the boundary of the farm. So here you can see a representation of this rectangular farm. Let the length of one side be L and the breadth or the width of the other side be B. So for a rectangle, we know the opposite sides will be parallel and equal in length. So if this is side L, this will also be side L. If this is B, this will also be B. So what would be the total length of the boundary of this farm? That would be the sum of all the lengths. That would be L plus B plus L plus B. So that will give you the total distance around the boundary. So this total length around the boundary or the total length of this boundary, it is called the perimeter of a closed shape. And since it is a measure of the length, the units of perimeter will be the same units of length. So let's see that once again. What do you mean by the perimeter of a closed shape? See, the total length of the boundary of a closed shape is called its perimeter. And perimeter can be measured in terms of the units of length such as meters, kilometers, centimeters, yards, miles and so on. So that's a brief introduction to perimeter of closed shapes. Now what about the area of a closed shape or a figure? See, there is a rectangle shown here. It has the length L and breadth B. You can see there is a space enclosed within the outline or the boundary of this rectangle. So this space enclosed by the boundary of this flat shape is called its area. So area is the space enclosed by the boundary of a flat shape or a flat surface. So let's say that again. Area is the amount of space covered by a flat surface of a particular shape, and we can measure area in terms of the number of square units the figure covers. Let me show you how to calculate the area of a closed shape with unit squares. So here we have the previous example drawn in a square grid. You can see small squares here. Each of these squares are of unit length, hence they are called unit squares. So here you can see the rectangle with the dimensions L and B. L is the length, B is the breadth. It covers some unit squares. So the area covered by this rectangle will be equal to the total number of unit squares the rectangle covers. So you can count the number of unit squares the figure covers to get the area occupied by the given figure. Each small square here has got an area of 1 square unit. So if the given figure covers 1 full square, that means the area has to be taken as 1 square unit. If a square is covered only in half, the area will be equal to 1 by 2 square units. So here this rectangle covers a few number of unit squares completely. You can see the squares can be taken as a set of rows and columns. So the total number of unit squares here will be equal to the rows into columns. That would be equal to L into B, the length into breadth of the rectangle, or you can say the side into side of the given figure. So let's say the perimeter of a closed shape can be calculated by taking the sum of all the lengths along the boundary, whereas the area of a closed shape can be calculated by counting the number of unit squares the figure covers. So now let's work out an example to find out the perimeter of the given figure. So here you have this figure, you have to find out the perimeter of this one. You can see the dimensions of the figure are marked along the sides. So this side is equal to 30 centimeter, this is 30 centimeter, this is 70 and this is 50 centimeter. We have to find out the perimeter of the given figure, which means the distance along the boundary. So how can we calculate the perimeter? It would be equal to the sum of all the measurements given or the sum of all the dimensions given here. So the diameter of this figure will be equal to 30 plus 50 plus 70 plus 30, which is equal to 180 centimeter. So the perimeter of this given figure here is 180 centimeter. Now you have more examples given in your textbook under the flashback exercise. So all of you, please work out the questions from the flashback exercise given from page number 219, and you also have to go through the workout activity, the try this exercise and the sole examples given in the textbook. So this was a brief introduction to the chapter perimeter and area. Please work out the questions from the flashback exercise, take a picture of your answers and post it through Microsoft Teams. So let's meet in the next class with a new topic. Till then, bye.